Welcome to the Code Dispenser channel. I'm Paul and today's brief is about configuring Visual Studio in order to compile Sassy CSS files. The first step in this process is to install an extension, as at the time of recording Visual Studio still does not have a built-in compiler for Sass. The compiler that I have used since Mads Christensen stopped work on his compiler is the fork of that project by Jason Moore. Just browse for Web Compiler in the Extensions Manager window. Failing that, I have included the link to the Visual Studio Marketplace listing in the video description below. The solution currently displayed is a Blazor interactive server application with an additional Razor library project for a Blazor component, but this could be any type of Visual Studio web-orientated project. Once installed, just create your usual folder structure for your Sassy CSS files and for the CSS files which get output by the compiler. Now add the Sassy CSS file that will be your main file for the compilation process, for example a main.scss file. Once you have that file, right click on it and select Compile File. This will generate a compilerconfig.json file. Double click on that config file and then set the input and output file paths. Build your project to make sure everything is OK. You should have a new CSS file appear at your chosen output location. Now add a partial file to the solution that will be used by your main file. Add some content. Now add a use directive to the main file. Build and check the output. Once the compilation process is working as expected, you can find configurable options within the nested compilerconfig.json.defaults file to refine this process. The final step is just to add a link to your CSS file to the index page. In this case, that is the app.razor file. For Blazor users, if you are using a Razor library project, as am I, then you will need to use the syntax of _content / followed by the assembly name, which by default is the project name unless you have changed it, followed by another / and then the path to the output CSS file, as I have done. Once done, just run the app and use the DevTools to make sure your CSS file is being found and loaded. That's it for this video. Hope it helped. Until next time, bye for now.